Hello, everybody, and welcome to Teacher Talk Live. Our topic today is teacher tech. We want to talk about all must-have tech, emerging tech, and all the neat things in between.
Welcome to Teacher Talk Live with your host, Oscar Cielo Staton, and featuring our distinguished guests.
We want our viewers to interact with us as much as possible. From teachcow.com, we want you to tweet with us with the hashtag EDULive. And if you don't have Twitter, test out our new chat feature, which is on the very right of TeachCow. So without further ado, I'd like our panelists to introduce themselves with a quick background and experience. So let me see. Let me start on my right, which is probably the left. We have Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Good afternoon, everybody, / good evening. My name is Sean Mitchell, and I run the website digitalappconnect.com. My educational experience, I did 4 years as an alternative education teacher. Going back to the website a little bit, what my website allows teachers to do is you can add as much content as you want. I will take care of the coding, and then I will get it added to both the Apple and the Google Play Store. Thank you.
Awesome. And next we have Monica.
Hi there. My name is Monica Burns from ClassTechTips.com. I'm an ed tech and curriculum consultant, a former New York City public school teacher from a one-to-one classroom, and now I help teachers find the best resources and think about ways to integrate technology thoughtfully into their instruction.
Nice. And next we have Kevin. Oh, and Kevin, you are on mute. I'm sorry. If you could take yourself off mute, that'd be great.
There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Kevin Sullivan. I'm actually a former principal and teacher for the past 20 years, and now I'm actually working with Field Trip Zoom, an ed tech startup company, and I've been working as their educational advisor for the last few months.
Very nice. And next we have Josie. If you could take off your mute and speak.
Hi, I'm Josie Cellone. I'm founder of Picture Book Publishing. We are an interactive children's book company that translates picture books for children, for the earliest readers, for touchscreens. So we help bring the characters to life and teach early vocabulary and build word association, character development, plot lines. So thanks for having us.
Nice, that's really cool. I can't wait to see more. And next we have Joe. Oh, Joe, you're still on mute.
Yes.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon for those in the West Coast. I'm in Palo Alto, California. This year I'm starting as a new position as a math coach for K-5. I've taught first grade for many years, second grade for a few years, and then recently fifth grade, where I experimented with flipping and blending of my math instruction and other curriculum areas, implemented Genius Hour, and led the school's multimedia club. Really excited to be here to share ideas and, of course, learn from everyone.
Very cool. And Michael, if you could take yourself off mute.
Hi, I'm Mike Pfannenstiel. I'm the founder of Field Trip Zoom, and Field Trip Zoom is a live interactive, well, it's a website that connects teachers with live interactive programming from museums and other cultural organizations.
Nice. And last but not least, Amy. Oh, Amy, if you could take yourself off mute. It's so there's a button.
I got it. Yeah,
okay.
I got it. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
So I'm Amy. I've been an educational technology special ed and English teacher for 9 years, and I'm now working at Bunty, edubunty.com, which we'll explain about a little bit later. I'm happy to be here.
Nice. Nice, everybody. Welcome. I'm really excited to begin, so let's jump right on in. I kind of organized us a little bit, so we're going to go through the panels that I have here, and then we're going to openly talk about all the cool stuff that you guys are doing and all the stuff that you have in your classroom. So must-have tools. Very vague area, but a lot of, this is the crux of the whole program. the must-have tools for teachers. So someone jump right on in and tell me what is something that you really, really can't do without in your classroom. Let's begin with Joe.
All right. Some of the things that I actually, you know what, I'm going to just point out really quickly first that teaching first, second, and fifth grade, I've used a variety of tools, and I think the main thing that I really work on is making sure that the student have a voice. So we really used, I empower the students to share their story. Something, I don't know if this can offer value to anybody, when beyond just classroom newsletters, something that I did when I was a first grade teacher was I created weekly podcasts where the students told the parents what we did during the week, and they were great family keepsakes because those first grade voices eventually changed, and those parents love those little squeaky voices. I think the really cool thing, must-have tech for teachers, especially if they're using iPads or any iOS devices, some way to reflect their screen. I think that's a huge thing. Reflector or Air Server those are software that you can install in your Mac that's connected to maybe your smartboard or your projector. I use that a lot for myself, and I also have my students push their screen onto the projector so we can all see student work without having to go up to the smartboard or the whiteboards.
Right. Joe, does that work the same way as Apple TV?
It does, yeah, and
Okay.
that's just another option. Of course, with Apple TV, you have it as what is it, $99 or $89, but
$69 now.
Yeah, $69 and so Reflector and Air Server, I think it's about like $25.
Nice.
So and especially for a school that wants to put it on multiple machines in their classrooms or several classrooms, it's a lot better for the financial part of it.
Right. Yeah. Anyone else jump right in and tell us must-have tech? Monica?
Yeah, so there's a few different things that I've been really excited about. My role now includes doing a lot of professional development with teachers. And so I was just down in Tennessee. I'm based in New York, so I can say down in Tennessee last week. And I'm headed to Chicago tomorrow, actually, to do some digital storytelling workshops. So I've been really excited about content creation tools that let students combine multimedia, whether it's videos they've taken, audio recordings, text that they've written. Really, it's something that you can really use to differentiate instruction in your class, as well as have really authentic assessments so students know that they're producing some type of content for a real-world audience. And I know there's some folks here who represent some great work that falls into that category. But two apps that I've been really excited about are Book Creator and Adobe Voice for having students really make a powerful, very high-quality product.
So, Monica, so that you're speaking of, is that do they create a video with photos embedded and text and all that? Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah. So Adobe Voice is actually a free iPad app, and it combines pictures, still images, icons. You can search within the app or upload your own with a little bit of text, but the emphasis really is on that voice for storytelling. So it puts all these kind of mini slides, if you want to think about it that way, together for a very nice finished piece.
Right. With my students, of course, this is a couple years back. I used Show Me, an app called Show Me. If you know that, of course, it's a little bit dated now because I believe there's another app that has been improved by that, and it's the same kind of concept. It's kind of cool to be able to have kids create stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead.
May I jump in right there? There's several apps that have great screen recording features. Show Me is definitely one of them. Educreations is another one that a lot of the K2 teachers use. I would definitely recommend Explain Everything, and it's just because the power of being able to export that final product back to the camera roll. With Educreations, you have to upload it to their own site, and that's a good solution for people who are using it. I definitely use Explain Everything and that's how I create my flip videos too.
That's the one I was trying to think of. Explain everything, because you're right. That one you can export, and like with Show Me, the problem that I had with that one is that I had all the files lived in showme.com, and you couldn't export it or anything like that. So yes, Explain Everything is awesome. Who else is there?
If I can just jump in as well,
Yes.
One piece that I always look at as an administrator is utilizing technology as a seamless integration into what you're doing in your day-to-day life. And that's key to make sure that it's not causing a distraction to both the teacher and for the students. So something that you can utilize that is or shows a very big impact or enhances your instruction in some way, shape, or form is key. And utilizing it in a way that is going to enhance their lesson, enhance their learning, basically cause more learning with and through others with the students is very, very important. And it really doesn't matter. It varies on what the actual technology can be. It just matters that it's used properly and it's used at the right time and at the right level.
Right. Well said. Anyone else must have tech? And I want to remind the people watching that you can interact with us. And so if you have must-have tech that you're using in the classroom or that you'll be using in the classroom, please tweet us or chat with us at teachcow.com. So who else has something?
Can I jump in?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, so as a special ed teacher, English teacher, I'm obviously upper levels, and what I feel, and one of the reasons why I felt the need to come over to Bunsey and work over there is because I really feel that Bunsey is able to give us everything that we need for the classroom. So I can give them the ability to, I can present to them and give them a lesson based on my presentation, or I can give them the ability to build an e-portfolio or do a research project or anything like that. It's very versatile in that respect. And since I've now come over there, I've also realized that we are so easy to use for the younger levels. And on the literacy aspect, the students are able to read, listen to what they say, because they can record right on the canvas at Bunsey as well. So they can read, listen to what they record on there. They can, everything's text to speech, so they're able to listen to everything as it's assigned and everything like that. So it's really been important to me because even with special ed, everything else, they're able to take what we give them and incorporate it into what they need by just able to click and learn everything. I feel like I'm tripping on my words because I'm a little bit nervous, but it's just been really great for them. So it's been exciting for me.
And yeah, I did get to see a little bit of what Bunsey can do, and it's a really neat tool. So you guys should check it out. And before the show's over, maybe Amy can show us a little bit of it. And there's also on the website on teachcow.com, right under this video, there is an explanation of Bunsey, a demo for Bunsey. Let's go on. Top apps. iPhone, iPad, Android. I don't know how much we can show as far as apps on here with our technology, but at least we can discuss what teachers should be having installed on their phones and iPads and Android devices. So I'm sure Josie has something to say about that. So go ahead, Josie.
Sure. There's tons of great apps that are out there. We all know the big brand names like Toca Boca, Story Toys. For me, these are games that really teach through play. They inspire creativity. They allow the child to create their own worlds. I know my passion and background is in language arts, and so I follow a lot of the storybook apps that are out there. Organizations like the Book App Alliance have a group of authors. It's a huge resource for people who are writing specifically for interactive technology. And one that has recently come out is called Spot by David Wiesner. He is a Caldecott winning author or author illustrator, and he created an app. This was something he said that he dreamt of in grad school and had never had the medium to tell this story before. And the first time he held an iPad, the light bulb went off for him. And so it's an exploratory world. It got second place in the Bologna Ragazzi Award this year, which is given out by Children's Technology Review. And I think it's just a great exploration of what you can do with storytelling in a digital format. All of those apps from Toca Boca and Spot are wordless, and so the books that are storybook apps from Book App Alliance have text in them, which I think is critical to help preschoolers and kindergartners as they're learning to read.
Nice, nice. What else? Top apps, people. Tell me about something that you use all the time.
Oscar, I just got back from an educational conference in Georgia, and so it was an edu camp. It's where all the teachers get into basically a half-day kind of event where they all just talk about their favorite apps. So I've got 3 apps that I wrote down that everybody was crazy about, so I'll just tell you what those are. Remind.com was a big one as far as texting, like, just download and you can communicate to the parents in text messages in a secure way. So that was a big one, Remind.com.
Remind.com.
Yeah, Remind.com. Kahoots.com was the other big one that was all around. It's a great little way that you can create dynamic quizzes, and they're kind of like in a game, in a competitive way. You can introduce in the classroom on any kind of material. And the last one was Nearpod.com. It was kind of a curriculum assessment tool that you could do different kinds of things with curriculum. So those were the 3, all the rage. They came up over and over and over at this sort of teacher tech, edutech teacher conference that I was at.
That's awesome. Michael, I was having a back and forth earlier on Twitter about because I asked people to go to the website, to teachcow.com, and do a survey on the must-have tech, and a lot of it came back with Kahoot or Socrative. Is it Socrative or is it Socrative? Somebody correct me, please.
I've heard it both ways pronounced a few different by lots of different people, so I'm sure there's a right way, but I think you're fine.
Okay, I'm going to call it Socrative for now, I guess. But what the conversation that we were having is, okay, so what's the difference between them? Because I have used Socrative a lot in my classrooms, and the kids love it. The kids just absolutely love the interactivity of it and the quick assessment, the quick results that it gives. But from what I've heard, Kahoot is a lot more game-based, so it seems to be a lot more dynamic, and it seems to be newer, so that's probably why. So if anybody can expand on experience on Kahoot.
If you don't mind, I'm going to jump in, if that's okay. I've used both in my classroom, and being on the upper levels, it's difficult sometimes to engage students, obviously. They love both. Socrative, or I always call it Socrative. I like it because it definitely is more of an assessment base, where Kahoot is more of a game base in the sense. Even my 12th graders loved playing Kahoot. They loved it, loved it, loved it. They would play till no extent, and they would be on the edge of their seat, ready to go. I would use it more of a review. So if I was doing a vocab review or a question review, or maybe if I was doing SAT review, anything like that, that's what I would use the Kahoot for, and it would really kind of engage them, more of a Friday, game-based type of thing. Whereas Socrative, I would use that more as an actual quiz or an actual assessment-based type of. So
I'm hearing you say it's not one or the other. Like one you use more for assessment, and the other one for more engagement and that sort of thing.
Yes, because they love them, and they're both great. But I think Socrative is more. It gives you more of the analytics, and it really gives the ability to give more quiz-based, where Kahoot is more of a fun game-based review type of thing.
Right, and I want to tell the teachers out there that if you are at a school that has low resources, or if you yourself have low resources as far as what you can get as far as technology, the way that I use Socrative, and now I'm calling it Socrative, in my classroom was that I asked people, friends and people like that, to donate old iPhones to me. Just donate an old iPhone, and I'll use it in the classroom. And I also got a Donors Choose grant a project that I made to get 2 iPads, and so in my classroom I had a total of 4 devices, and with those 4 devices I could break kids into 4 teams and have them use the device that way and be able to engage them that way. And I think I had a couple others on the computers, on the two or three computers that I might have had. So even if you don't have a classroom full of devices, you can still use these awesome tools. So anyone want to add anything to that? Or we will go on to the next question. Well, assessment tech. The next topic is assessment tech. So I think we've talked a little bit about Socrative. Is there other stuff that teachers should be aware of for this coming year? Let's go to Sean. If you could unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right, in terms of the assessment tech, I'm working with a few schools right now, and the assessment tech that we are working with is primarily informal assessments through the use of asking like an open-ended question on a forums or using, say, Facebook or Twitter. And from there, what happens is, let's say the teacher will ask an open-ended question that's scheduled to go out, let's say, an hour after school is over. Student A, they look, and then they read, then they answer. Another student, they have to read the first question, the response, and then it has a snowball effect. And the nice thing about it, straying slightly off course, the school, all the students that are in that same class, they have an opportunity to interact in a way that they never would during the course of a regular school day. And then along with that, the teacher, they can see exactly what the students understand, and then they can see exactly what the students need further reinforcement with in terms of explanation. So. Nice.
Anyone else want to jump in there with assessment tech? What other?
There's.
Go ahead.
I was just actually brought into a idea of, it's called Gradable. It's another EdTech startup company out of the Boston area. And basically what they're looking at is the formative piece of assessment. Many tools that are out on the market are always looking at the whole summative and what's the be-all and end-all. But this is an actual group that's focusing on what's going on in the classroom with the formative type assessment with day-to-day ongoing pieces. And what they're doing and what they're putting together seem to be an excellent idea and an excellent choice. So Gradable out of Boston was one that would be worth a look at.
I just looked on the chat on teachcow.com, and Nicole McGuire, who is a wonderful lady, and I've worked with her. She's telling us about KidBlog, reminding us about KidBlog, and yeah, that can be a great assessment tool. Actually, I use KidBlog in my classroom, and what it does is that the way I used it is for their writing. I had second language learner third graders, and so what I would do is that I taught them how to take pictures of their finished writing and post it as a blog to KidBlog. And so they had their own blog, and they wouldn't spend a whole bunch of time, third graders, if they don't know how to type well, it would take forever for them to type a whole story out. So what we did is we took pictures of it and posted it on kidblog.com, and so the kids would go into each other's blog and comment on it, on something that they saw in the story or in the piece that they published. And so that's another great way of assessing understanding and assessing writing, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyone else here use KidBlog? Any other way that that you have used it? Go ahead, Joe. Tell us how you used it. What ideas do you have?
Yeah, I actually have used KidBlog for the students to be able to share their perspective, their voice, not so much as an assessment tool, but although now, of course, definitely seeing that it has a lot of that potential and that possibility. I've used KidBlog for the kids to write about their experiences in particular units, and have also been able to connect with other teachers across the country, and so my students would comment on the other students' blog posts. Nice. And vice versa. So it creates this community of users, student users. The biggest challenge, of course, with any kind of kid blog or any student blogging system is the audience, and I think that's the key thing, that you need to get them to have somebody to read it, whether it be parents or school administrators or board members, and of course in my case I found teachers who uses it with their kids, so that we got to be buddy bloggers, but that audience piece is huge.
Yeah, I agree. I loved KidBlog. That's a really fun thing to use in the classroom. So. Just on the chat, Dr. Goins is on there, and he says Raz Kids is a new one for me. I can't wait to check it out. Does anyone know what Raz Kids is? Tell us about it, please. Go ahead.
Let me unmute. Okay, so Raz Kids is an online resource that allows kids to get content or digital content for reading. There's all sorts of different levels of reading, and it's a chance to be able to, when they get into it, the teachers can set up whatever level that the students are, and then students can listen, have a book read to them, then they of course can read it on their own. They can also record their audio, and so that's actually a piece of assessment right there too, so that when the kids record their audio, the teacher can hear how the kids did with their expression, their fluency. And then, of course, with each book there are quizzes or reading comprehension questions, so that it allows them to check that piece too, check for understanding, and then they can advance level by level using Raz Kids. It's a really fun thing. There's also a gamification piece to it where the kids earn, I think it was stars or some type of points where they can build a rocket ship for their alien.
That's for their alien? That sounds really cool. Actually, that sounds really cool. So in Raz Kids, they already have a system set up, a roster of reading material, Joe? Yeah, there are plenty of books at different levels, and yeah, they have access to the library. The teacher actually can determine or limit the students to read at their particular level, or also allow them to be able to browse throughout the entire library. I think with a teacher account, you're allowed to have 36 student logins, and so when I used it in first and second grade, I had 24 students, and so those other accounts, I shared them with the students' siblings, or also my resource teachers, so that they can use it with their students and stuff. So it was a really powerful use of online tech, and of course, the students can do it at home too. That flexibility of being able to do it anywhere with online access. That sounds amazing. You guys, teachers should be using that, or at least trying it out, definitely. So let's go on if nobody has something else. Organizational classroom tech. So all the things, think of all the things that make life easier for teachers, as far as grading, as far as paperwork, as far as everything having to do with organization. So anyone jump in there? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So one thing that I really love to share with teachers is a tool that they might already be playing around with, but just haven't dove into as deeply as they can, which are Google Forms. So especially for teachers that are already set up in Google Classroom, or are familiar with Google Docs, or kind of entered into that whole space, reluctantly or not, they've become familiar with it. Google Forms are a really great option for creating customized data collection, especially among teachers who are sharing groups of students. So you can have a teacher that creates their own Google form to collect conference data, to collect any type of assessment data they want, because it's completely customizable, and they can share that link to the Google Doc with other educators who are serving the same population. So if they have a co-teacher, if they have someone pushing in, an ESL teacher, it's really great because all the information goes to one spreadsheet, so the teacher can gather lots of data on their class in a way that's a lot more visible and just in a shared space, especially when there's different service providers working with the same group of students.
Nice. And we just had, Monica, we had someone on chat tell us about Google Forms and how she uses it too. So yeah, I know a lot of people are using Google Forms for organization. What else as far as organization, you guys? Behavior management. I'm not going to say it, but I know that there's one thing that I had a lot of feedback on. So Joe, I think, wants to talk about it.
So a few classroom organizational tech that I've used. Speaking about behavioral management, one service is called Class Dojo. It's a really nice service to be able to monitor and track student behaviors. And of course, there's always this idea or this conflict of, well, we want them to be intrinsically motivated to do the right thing. And so, we always try to push for that, but there is a part about guiding students to know what is appropriate behaviors. And it's kind of like, if you imagine, I said this, I think last time I was on Teacher Talk Live, that you have a toddler who may not know what to do, so you kind of guide them and you show them what's right. So it's the same thing here. You can use Class Dojo, create these behaviors that you want to affirm or commend the students, and then also some that you want to remind them, hey, you're making a bad behavior. The way I used it in my 5th grade class too is that there's a Chrome an extension for your Chromebooks, and so all my students, when they were working on their Chromebooks, as I walk around and I give a thumbs up or not, it pushes out to, or it rings up on their Chromebook too, so that they can see it right away. The nice new feature that Class Dojo also recently introduced was Dojo groups. So of course, you don't have to do one student at a time. If they're working as a group and it's a really productive group, you can assign it right away to the entire group, and they all get their own Dojo points and stuff. It's a pretty cool service and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm screen sharing right here, and you can see their homepage. They have these awesome little monsters that everybody seems to love. All the kids seems to love. So, it is a really cool, engaging tool. So, yeah. Well, you had another one, Joe?
Yeah, if I may, I would just speak really quickly about this. The organizational thing. If your school uses a learning management system, it's a great way to keep track of data. The one that my district uses in Palo Alto is Schoology, and it's a great way to even connect with our Google app. So as Monica said, using Google Forms to collect data for the assessments or just information, that's how I use it too, with a Google form embedded into Schoology. I use it even with my reading log, that as the students are asked to read at night, each night, I want to go paperless. So instead of writing out on a table with title or how many minutes, they just go right onto Schoology and go into the form that's embedded into Schoology, and they do that. In Schoology, I use it as well to organize my flipped learning, my blended learning. So lots of tools there too. And then of course, as I said, the students, as they make videos with it, explain everything, they upload it there too. So it's a common place to share resources and share content.
Nice. And Carrie on the chat, she said, I do worry about the whole class display of Class Dojo, but I love the way Joe is using it, so thumbs up, Joe. And she also said Forms is a great for reading logs as well. So yeah, you guys can use it. Teachers can use it as reading logs as well. So there's many uses for Google Forms. Anyone have anything to add to this, to class organization? I think there's a lot of stuff out there that that we can be using. So let's go to the okay. So here's where we get a little bit of controversy in the show, and I just want to hear everyone's thought on this, and hopefully the people on Twitter, and as well as the people on the chat at teachcow.com the question is, are connected teachers necessarily more effective, and vice versa? So anyone want to talk about that?
I'll jump in here.
Sure.
I'm Picture Book Publishing. We're based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which we happen to also have the Fred Rogers Center for Early Childhood Development here, and they published a wonderful position statement jointly with NACCE on how to use technology effectively in the classroom. And one of the arguments that they make about it is that children are using it at home, and it's a way to bridge that home life with the classroom life and to meet the students where they're at. So one of the things that we're trying to do as a developer at the recommendation of the Fred Rogers Center is to provide activity extensions for the content we create so that the technology is not used in isolation but has material that can go with it. So one of the quotes from Dr. Michael Robb is, help make that hidden curriculum visible. So an example is one of our storybook apps is about a sneezing elephant. He has the sneezing fit and he can't quit. And so one of our activity extensions is just talking about how do you catch a cold? How can you stop sneezing? What makes you sneeze? And so it provides discussion topics around the content itself. So I think that educators who understand how to use technology as part of the curriculum is super effective.
Right, and I love what you said, technology not being used in isolation, because that's important to notice that, you know, as teachers we may be using all the really cool technology, but it's in how we use it and not necessarily in the fact that we're using it. You know, I got to walk into a classroom. I was doing a separate project, not as a teacher, but I got to visit a classroom, and it was a one-to-one classroom. And what I did see in that classroom is that they didn't really have a plan of how to use those iPads. The teacher didn't have all the tools ready to be able to manage all those iPads, and this was, I believe, a third grade classroom. And because of that, there were kids getting on iTunes and kids doing other stuff, you know, that the teacher wasn't watching. So I think it's a really important issue to talk about. You know, are connected educators really more effective just because they are connected? And by connected, I mean, you know, full of equipment. Yeah. So anyone else have anything to say about that?
If I can jump
in. Go ahead, Amy.
I think when you say connected to, I think we have to think about not just having the equipment, but also being connected socially, being connected as being alive and aware of what is out there. I've had I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate experience of being in all areas and all aspects of schools where they may have had no technology to schools that are one-to-one. And in my experience, it's no matter what situation you're in, no matter how much technology you have, it's really all about the educator and how much they want to put into what they have and what's available. And so as far as being a connected educator, I think what it means is being able to take chances, being able to take that risk and utilize what's out there and not be afraid of what is available to you. And unfortunately, you know, with the time constraints that are on teachers and with the amount of work that's there, it's difficult sometimes. So, you know, teachers really need to embrace that. And there's only maybe a handful per district as far as I've seen on Long Island out here where I am. It's been hard because there's a disparity. And so being able to be connected and to take that chance is difficult for a lot of teachers out here. So I think that once the one-to-one initiative becomes more of a global circumstance, I think that's going to become a totally different circumstance for teachers. But right now, it's difficult. And so therefore, you do have those few teachers in each district that are able to become connected and hopefully incite that within the building. But unfortunately, you get some resistance, unfortunately, as well. So.
Right. And yeah, I just see that that we also, on the opposite end, we also have a lot of teachers, great teachers that are not necessarily tech savvy and have their own treasures. They have their own treasure trove of really engaging ways of reaching a student. But there's also the component of keeping up with the times, and I believe Josie was talking about this, how we're competing for the kids' attention nowadays. There's so many things that they are seeing and doing and outside the classroom that times are changing tremendously, and so to be able to engage them and to engage them, we have to keep up. We have to keep up with whatever is going on. We're mentioning tools here that that our audience may or may not have tried, but I encourage you that if you hear something on the show that that you haven't tried, please do try it at least sometime in the first month of school, just so you can check it out and see. Joe has something to say. Go ahead, Joe. And then,
so I'm going to address something about the being connected educators. I think it, of course, is, as Josie said, it's about connecting with others and just being able to extend that learning environment and the learning team beyond just your own classroom or your own grade level team. In fact, I'm going to respond to a question that's in the chat as well. There was a question that someone asked, do I just keep progress of my students? I think that was regarding
have we lost Joe? It seems we have. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Connect educators.
Hey, Joe. Joe, if you could hold off a minute because your connection is going away. We'll let Kevin speak and we'll come back to you. Go ahead, Kevin.
Actually, I'm going to piggyback on what I think Joe was going to allude to, and it is connected educators are going to be those type of educators that are looking beyond their classroom walls, and they're trying to reach out to experts in the field that are global. They're people that could be referencing topics that you might not have as much contact or as much experience in. For example, we at Field Trip Zoom, that's one of our main goals of what we do, and I know we're going to talk about that in the future, but there are many other ways to parallel outside of your classroom and go for those resources that are there and be able to seek them out in a professional manner and a professional way to understand what the needs of the children are in that classroom and go out and seek out those needs elsewhere other than inside the walls of the classroom space.
Right. Joe, are you back? It seems like he's not back. We'll have to return to him, but yeah, I like the point he was making, and we have a lot more going on in the chat. We'll come back to it, but anyway, anyone else want to add anything to this topic of connected educators? What I do want to say though is, there's a big knowledge base out there of teachers who are connected through Twitter as well. A lot of expertise out there on Twitter. If you are not on Twitter, please join and follow TeachCal and follow these great folks because there's always new discoveries. There's always new technology that you may want to implement to make your life easier in the classroom. And if you don't know how to use it, we'll teach you on here how to use it, so that's no problem. So yeah, connect on Twitter. I would recommend people connect on Twitter. Yeah, so let's go on. What's in the future for EdTech? What's the upcoming stuff that you see in the horizon? I know one of the things, and some of you may want to expand on that, one of the things that is coming up in the future is augmented reality. Augmented reality is a big thing coming up, and so there's a video that was done by Mr. Jeff Bradbury, FeatureCast, his we've put up a video about augmented reality, so they explain it really well and they go into it really well. So so yeah, and I see Joe's back. So Joe, what was it that you were saying? Let's go back to that for a minute. Go ahead. Oh, and he's coming off mute. If you could unmute. Yeah, there you go.
All set?
Yeah.
I'm now joining the Hangout from my iPhone because my computer is kind of wonky right now.
Yeah.
Kevin, that was excellent. Perfect, exactly what I was thinking about, just making sure that we're connected because we don't need to know everything. Even that's definitely the message that I give my kids, and when we do Genius Hour, we talk about, I don't know everything. What do you want to learn? And if you want to learn something, let's go take that time and just research it and become. And I distinguish that we don't really become a genius, but we can start becoming an expert, and we share that with others. So that's a really powerful thing. There was that one question in the chat that talked about whether I used the progress with just my students, and I think that's using Class Dojo. I've actually also asked the yard duty supervisors to do it, and then also other teachers.
Oh,
and
nice.
So when we rotate science lessons, my grade level team have access to those Class Dojo accounts too, so that they can comment or compliment my kids that way too.
That's cool. So they're followed throughout the day. So that's wonderful. Yeah. Karen Hogan on the chat says my go-to tool is at Docent EDU for sure. Lets you hack any website to make it into your own lesson. So if anyone knows about at Docent EDU, anybody? No? Well, she says, so students feel comfortable using tech if they see their teachers using tech. As long as teachers aren't afraid to fail, students will take risks. And if you see something on the chat, you guys go ahead and jump in and respond just like Joe did. And we were going back to the last tile, which is what's the future of EdTech, and I was talking about augmented reality. I don't know if that's the future. It seems to be the present. A lot more people talking about augmented reality. Anyone have experiences with augmented reality? Let's start with that.
I'll jump in and share a little bit about that. I had the pleasure to present at South by Southwest with Courtney Pepe, who's an educator from New Jersey, on scannable and wearable technology this past March. So it's definitely something I'm working on some more scannable projects now that I'm really excited about. And so we actually share some stories from both of our own learning environments. Although I'm out of the classroom, I work with a nonprofit called Lit World based in New York City, and we've done some scannable blip-R posters, which have augmented reality triggers. So students and children and families can scan, and videos will pop up, and it's been really an exciting way to give them access to content that's also been very engaging.
Nice, nice. What else is coming up in teacher tech? What new stuff? I think this is a good time to talk about some of the stuff that you guys have. Josie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that there's always a tendency to be attracted to the next new shiny technology that's out there, and sometimes the future of ed tech is just using what's existing in new ways in the classroom. So using things like digital photography in your classroom to do an assignment, to go on a nature walk and take pictures of things that students see on the nature walk and bring that in. That's a way of using technology in the classroom. It doesn't have to be as fancy as augmented reality, which is still in its early stages, is expensive, and the developers haven't had time to create quality content for it yet. So I think sometimes it can be intimidating to talk about the future of ed tech and just think about innovative ways to use existing technology in your own classroom.
Yeah, great point. Great point. I'm sorry if I seem to be looking away. It's because I'm looking at the Twitter and trying as much as possible to keep up with the Twitter. But Carrie Bauckham said, I think improved assistive technology for students with special education needs is important. So if anyone has anything to add to that. But Sean wanted to go ahead, Sean. Oh, Sean, you are on mute. You are muted.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. All right, my personal feeling is, and I'm kind of geared a little bit more for the high school / middle school student. I feel personally that there's going to be a shift from the traditional hardware, where school districts are purchasing laptops, tablets, etc., implementing more of a bring your own device policy into the school district. That way you're empowering the students to make their own personal choice because they bring their device, what they feel is near and dear to them. In addition to that, from the taxpayer perspective, if you can just cut, let's just even say 100, let's say Chromebooks out of the mix at like $289 a pop, you can save the school district $28,900 per go-around in terms of the tech refresh. I just feel that the focus in the future, it's going to be a lot more on the software side of things, leveraging what the student already has in their pocket, and then the shift, is going to be away from the hardware. So those are just my thoughts with what the near-term future is going to be like.
And you know what? I agree with that because the tech is becoming so much more affordable, and I think in a few years, even it'll be available to a lot of our low socioeconomic as well. So
yes, and you had said earlier how you had people donate their devices in, so that could be a great stopgap as well. So. Right.
Everyone wants the latest iPhone, so all those other iPhones, donate them to teachers. Yeah, that's my pitch. If you're watching out there, if you have old iPhones, please donate them to teachers. They need them. So, anyone else want to add to what's the future of EdTech? I kind of want to point out, and we'll go around the panel, but I kind of want to point out right now Field Trip Zoom because I was able to talk with them, and I have a video on the website as well, what they're doing, and I'll let them tell more about it. So either one of you jump in. What are you doing to help the classrooms?
Well, I think what we're doing is kind of capitalizing on this connected classroom. So what we talked about earlier is about the connected teacher or the connected classroom, and that, I think people are aware of Skype, and there's a lot of Skyping that goes on, and teachers try to do, collaborate with other people outside of the classroom, and really the technology only in the last couple of years has really evolved to a point where it's now easy enough to use, for the teacher not to have to be a super tech person or have a tech specialist come in. And so what Field Trip Zoom is doing is taking that kind of idea of Skype video conference. We're using live video interactive technology, and bundling that with curriculum. So we're saying that there's a lot of institutions out there external to the educational institutions that produce very exciting educational material content about history, about science. You can name the curriculum or topical areas, and the idea that you can go to one-stop shop or one website that sort of aggregates all of that content, and if you're interested in doing live and interactive in the classroom and connecting with that outside world, outside of the school, then the Field Trip Zoom website will facilitate that for the teacher, so that they don't have to learn all the piece parts components of this, how to use Skype, where do I go to collaborate, who do I collaborate with, what content do I connect with.
Right.
So it's really just taking all of that and putting into one's place, and then the teacher has like a dictionary with all the tools at their fingertips to get it done.
So you can go on a virtual field trip right from your classroom. I think there's some... Okay, so you can go on a field trip right from your classroom and be able to engage the students. I really think that's a really cool thing that Field Trip Zoom is doing. They have partnerships with museums and all that kind of stuff. So it's an interactive kind of thing where the teacher virtually takes the class to a field trip, and they can see all kinds of stuff. So, Kevin, do you have anything to add to that, the creative component that you guys have?
Well, the key is that what we're trying to do is really open up our classrooms to the entire world. There is so much content out there, and unfortunately, schools have, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in Massachusetts, you are in South Central Los Angeles on the other side of the country, it doesn't matter. We all have the same problem. We have no time and we have no money. Right. Also, there's a large push for time on learning. We need to be able to facilitate and utilize 6 hours of a school day and put everything together in that time period. What we at Field Trip Zoom are doing we're taking and expediting that time period of exposing teachers and students to content level experts, be it a science center, an author, a motivational speaker, an art museum, anything that could be out there. We have programs that are being run in Australia. We have programs that are being run in Canada. We have programs that are being run throughout the United States. It basically facilitates that one-to-one contact, and that's the key. You are in the classroom, you are talking to that presenter on the screen, and you are engaging them in a one-to-one dialect. They're able to ask you questions, you are able to ask them questions. You have a give and a take. It's very different than a lot of the other programs out there where you're watching pre-taped video. It is live, it is interactive, and it is ongoing. Also, the fact that there are so many options that we're putting together, and it's building by the day. So when you put all of those pieces together, it really vents for a good product for the classroom.
And I hope you don't mind the comparison, but it's like, it's sort of, and I saw Joe on the Twitter mention this about Periscope. So I think that what you guys have is kind of like a Periscope by experts. You know, it's a live transmission, but by experts, by people that are very knowledgeable about what they're speaking about. So it's a really cool thing.
And it's also on per genre, per grade level, per experience level. So we have programs that run from pre-K all the way up through high school, and each one of the programs are preset on what the actual genre is, what the actual program is about.
Right. Josie, let's jump to you, or could you tell us a little bit about what you're implementing with picturebooks.com?
Sure. So picture books are a way of translating the traditional illustrated children's stories for touchscreens. So we felt like there was a gap between the fixed format pages of ebooks and the wordless games that we see out there. So children have been trained that when they touch characters on the screen that they react and animate. And so ebooks that have static images or basically scanned in PDFs are actually a frustrating experience for those new readers because the ebooks don't act the same way that the technology they're used to using on a tablet or a touchscreen. So we're adding some gamification and elements to help enhance vocabulary and that early word association, but still having the images that help those early readers follow storylines, understand plot development, because we felt like at the other end of the spectrum there were a lot of games that didn't have a story arc. They were kind of non-linear, open-ended, and so we're trying to develop that translation right in the middle.
Very nice, very nice. And Amy, go ahead and you guys feel free to screen share and show us this stuff that you guys are making.
I'd be happy to share. Actually, it's really exciting to hear what you guys are doing. I love to hear Field Trip Zoom and the picture books. I've looked into it a little bit, and as an educator, it's very exciting. As an educator and a mother, to be honest, because all of these things are so exciting, and it's great to hear what we can do for our children and what we can do for our students. So at Bunsey, what we do, like I said earlier, we're able to give them so much from every grade level, starting at kindergarten up, and upper grades is where I mostly adhere to. So for me, it's e-portfolios and presentations, but on the younger grade levels, it's all about creativity for them. And so if I can share, and if you bear with me, I'm going to, hopefully I can share this if you guys can let me. I'd like to share,
Oh.
I don't know what I just did there. No, that one screen was all I tried to do.
While you're doing that, I just want to mention that Allison Larson has said, just heard of Field Trip Zoom, and she's super excited about it. So you'll be hearing from Allison Larson, and I hope a lot more other teachers, because, yeah, it's a really cool thing. So, Amy, yes, back to you. Did you figure it out?
I'm doing it, but I don't know why, for some reason,
you have to pick the screen that, so it'll give you several screens, and you pick the one that you want to share.
Okay.
So yeah.
I apologize, but it's giving me like
no problem. Anyone else want to add anything? Is there anything that we haven't talked about so far that, as far as teacher tech, that we want to jump in? It seems like Joe's ready. Go ahead, Joe.
I just recently learned of a new service online that teachers can build quizzes or build questions, and there's actually already a lot of content already on the service. It's a completely free service called EdSite, so Excite, but edcite.com, and it's a completely free service that I recently learned about this summer, and I'm really excited to experiment and try it out. And
wait, let me clarify. Excite.ed?
No, it's edcite.com. So it's like Excite, but with the D instead of X.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm excited to experiment, try it out. A way to build quizzes, and I think it's back to the question earlier about assessment tool. This could be used as an assessment tool, formative assessment, but a great way to check for understanding throughout.
It sounds a lot like Kahoots.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna have to check it out some more.
Yeah. So I wanna. Oh, Amy, did you figure out the screen share thing? No. Okay. See if you can figure it out. But I just wanted to say that I myself have just been 1 year out of teaching, and New Year's about to start, but just in that 1 year, like, there's a whole bunch of stuff, that has been added, and that keeps changing. So technology seems to be evolving really fast, and it's really important now more than ever to keep up and to keep learning and to join those communities out there that are available out there for you. Join Teacher Talk Live, join the Twitter chat, join all these places that provide all this information, because I think your students will benefit greatly by keeping up with all this. And back to Amy. Amy, you have it? It looks like she has a little bit of it right there. So she is showing you the beginning step of how to create, I think. Okay, so it seems to not be working. That's okay. Sean, anything that you want to add? When you're on mute, sorry.
Yep, I got it. All right, sorry. All right, back to my website, the website I have been working on a little bit. Very quickly, let me get it going here.
And I love all these educational entrepreneurs as well, because I think the best stuff comes from people who have actually been in the classroom and have done it. So.
Okay, is my screen being shared right now or no?
It is not.
Okay. All right, just really quickly, just because we're kind of getting close to the limit, on the website that I have developed, digitalappconnect.com, I take people through just a hypothetical unit pertaining to World War II. All that you have to really do is be able to type and be able to put video links or even just audio links in there as well. And then step by step, you can pretty much have an entire unit done, because teachers already have a lot of content out there already. An entire unit can probably be imported probably in the course of, let's just say, half hour, 45 minutes at the very max. And then from there, again, once all the teachers have their information imported, like I said earlier, with my intro, I take care of all the back-end stuff, so to speak, and then once everything is done, it's released into the App Store. All the students in the school district can then benefit from that point forward.
Wow.
And then on the back end, teachers, they can make changes. They can if they have like 3 units showing, they can deactivate units 2 and 3 and just have unit 1 showing. Somebody on here talked about the ability to do podcasting earlier. You can integrate podcasts into it. The Flip Classroom, it's a great model to use. So those are just some of the things that you can do with the site. Again, the website that I have, I go through and I show you exactly what you can do, just one person's perspective. So everybody within the app, they can have their own little bit of real estate, so to speak, and just have their imagination, creativity take over from there.
So, Sean, basically the teacher just provides the content and you make an app for them?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of work. You're going to be busy, my friend.
Hey, it's really so that's all that matters.
And what does that cost me as a teacher?
The model I'm looking at right now is for a whole school district to join. As of right now, I'm running a special. It's only $97 for me to get everything coded, and then on the back end, it is a subscription service. I believe it's $27 a month. But then with that $27 a month, I take care of all the support and then all the updates as well.
And as a teacher, I can customize this in any way I want. I can create the app to my specifications.
Yes. My initial vision and goal is the entire school district can get all of their information that they feel necessary imported into the app itself. So every single teacher, with their little piece, they can have as much creativity as they want.
Nice. All right. I think anyone else have a question or to any of the other panelists before we continue? I think we talked about all the stuff that the major stuff. Anything else that Amy, did you want to give one last chance at screen sharing? If not, we have the Buncee demo on teachcal.com, so you guys check that out.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's giving me such a hard time. It keeps giving me multiple screens, but we do have a really great video right on your page. Thank you so much for that. And it really gives a great detail of how to get it started. But the one thing I do have to say is the site is so robust and there's so much that it offers that it's just really hard to kind of generalize it in such a short time and in such a short way. But I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time. I'm sorry about that.
Right, yeah. But there is that video. Sean, I think this question is directed at you. Nicole asks, is there a limit on apps that a teacher can request per month with the subscription?
It's not so much teachers per app. It is the entire school district. So it's one app.
Oh, okay.
For the entire school district, and then then every teacher within the school district, they can add their content directly into their school district app.
Okay, good clarification. Yes, awesome. Anyone else? And Polka Dot and Pencil says, at Josie, I'm so excited about picture books, totally using that in my kindergarten class this year, so yay. Okay, so I think we've gone over the content. I see, Joe, are you raising your hand? You have one more.
I just want to do a connection to earlier about being a connected teacher.
Yes.
Am I on mute? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just a big thing about being a connected teacher. Those who are watching as a teacher, make sure that you engage in Twitter chats throughout to be able to connect with others, get some ideas, try new things. This past year, I really got into a lot of different Twitter chats, and that's how I learned about Genius Hour. And I was working with a lot of blended learning and chats like that. I'm actually a new instructional coach for math in the West Coast. I don't know if it's also throughout the country, but it's called Teacher on Special Assignment. So it's TOSA. We're starting a TOSA chat on Monday at 8 o'clock, and it is, I guess, geared for the West Coast people because it's at 8 Pacific time. But if you're available and interested as a coach, please definitely check it out and to share ideas and build relationships that way.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, anyone else? Last chance. Anyone else want to?
Sure.
Josie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I know that technology can be intimidating if there are people that sometimes we also hear a lot of fear around screen time, but I'm also seeing a new kind of critical volume of research around how immersive technology can enable and enhance deeper learning. And so I think just keep your eye out for that type of research, because even if parents push back or you have administrators pushing back, there's new data to show that used in the right way, technology can actually enhance the learning and help concepts click with students even better. Just this week in EdTech magazine, there was an article by a Harvard business professor on this very topic that was really eye-opening. So thank you guys for being advocates.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And it's a good reminder that it's not only the teachers that need convincing, it's our school administrators and districts. Because they are the ones in power, and the teachers are, a lot of the times have to follow whatever the vision is of the school district. So with that, I want to start saying my goodbyes. I want to thank our panelists and off-screen participants for lending their expertise to this great topic. Teacher Talk Live is wonderful because of you. Please continue supporting by liking our videos, subscribing our newsletter, and YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube as well. Participating in our talks and through Twitter and through chat. I've just implemented that new chat feature, and people seem to be liking it, so it's awesome. And telling all social media about this forum, that would be great. As we head into phase 2 of Teacher Talk Live, we'll be looking for sponsors, so keep that in mind. Anyone watching and any of you guys with products, let's talk. We now have 2 shows on TeachCal, Teacher Talk Live, and the Going Digital show with a possible announcement soon of a 3rd show. And I want them all to be interactive, so that's a really cool thing. Next week we are having Dr. Greg Goins with Going Digital, and he will be chatting live with administrators. So his episode 2 is called The Tech Savvy Administrator, with Stephen West Anderson and Jerry Kimball and Jeff Herb. So please watch that. So with that, thank you for watching, and so next Tuesday is Going Digital, and the week after that, you guys, if you want to come back on, or if you can recommend some people to talk about teacher shortage, that would be really, really good. We're going to be talking all about teacher shortage and how to recruit teachers, and some people, in some areas, are having a teacher glut. So we'll be talking about all that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.